Good morning, fellas, and welcome back to Me Plays Games, where we play games. My name is Matt, and today Dash and I are bringing something a little bit different to the table.
What's up, guys? I'm Dash, and yes, I am a real person.
As you would probably expect from a racing game, Mario Kart Wii has plenty of people grinding out fast times on every track. So today, we're going to be talking about the techniques used in the time trial world records. For more speedrunning videos, subscribe to Me Plays Games and join our Discord server, link in the description. These records are accurate as of April 17th, 2021. Alright, let's get started.
First of all, let's talk a little bit about the vehicles in the game. The Flame Runner, Spear, and Mach Bike have the vast majority of the world records on the 32 tracks. It's worth noting that not only are all of those vehicles bikes, but they also have a feature called Inside Drift. Inside drifting bikes are able to take turns tighter compared to outside drifting ones, which is important on most tracks. The Flame Runner is the vehicle people use most on the tracks, since it has good speed, drift, and mini turbo, the three most important stats for time trialing. The Mach Bike is a little slower, but it has better drift, making it better for windier tracks such as DK Mountain. It's also lighter, and we'll get into why that matters a little bit later. The Spear is the fastest bike in the game, but it doesn't drift as well, making it situational, but still solid on a decent amount of tracks.
Each character also comes with bonuses that give you a slight boost in certain stats. Funky Kong gives you the biggest speed boost on the heavyweight vehicles, so that's the Flame Runner and Spear, and Daisy does the same on the Mach Bike. Those are pretty much the only characters you use on those bikes, but there's a little bit more variety on the tracks where you use lightweight characters.
All 32 world records use a bike of some kind, and most of them use the three I listed above. As of writing the script, the Flame Runner has 12 world records, the Mach Bike with 6, the Spear with 9, the Quacker with 3, and the Bullet Bike and Magic Cruiser have 1 each. The Flame Flyer was the only kart that ever had a world record for a long time, and it still holds 1 no-glitch record, but we'll get into why later on. Let's get started with the Mushroom Cup, and the first track, Luigi Circuit.
The world record here is 1 minute 8.774 seconds by a player named Cole. I'm just going to pretend his last name is Slaw. There isn't too much to note here in these less complicated tracks, but players will use their mushrooms here on the final turn, going inside the pipes and cutting off a pretty sizable part of the track. You'll also notice that on the straightaways, players will pop a wheelie. In this game, wheelies are faster than driving normally, so you'll always want to either be in a wheelie, boosting with a mushroom, or drifting to prepare a mini turbo.
On Moo Moo Meadows, the world record belongs to Sosis at 1 minute 15.483 seconds, the first of his 6 records we'll be covering today. You'll see that the mushroom spot players go for is this bit of grass towards the beginning of the track. One thing that might not be too obvious is that there are all sorts of different types of drifts players will use to get around turns. If you'd like to learn more about them, check out Arkantel's videos I've linked in the description. If they aren't there, please yell at Matt in the comments. He's the one who handles most of the work.
Mushroom Gorge is one of the 3 tracks in the game where the Quacker holds the world record. The reason why is because the Quacker is the lightest vehicle in the game. Lighter vehicles get more air on ramps and bouncing mushrooms, which makes them ideal for performing certain glitches. The glitch here is that by bouncing off this mushroom, you can cling onto the wall and ride it back and forth to complete 3 laps. This is one of many ultra shortcuts in this game.
In short, ultra shortcuts are glitches where you confuse the game's checkpoint system and make it count a lap when you haven't actually gone through the necessary checkpoints. In long, go watch Summoning Salt's Mario Kart Wii videos for a more in-depth explanation.
Anyway, this allows a handful of tracks to be beaten in under 45 seconds, with one track being beatable in 15. We'll get back to that later. As for Mushroom Gorge, the world record on this track is 20.32 seconds by Bryce.
This is the first track where we'll be looking into the no glitch record, which belongs to Connor at 1 minute 40.78 seconds. At the end of the track, players perform a shortcut called the gap jump, where you time a hop and a mushroom in such a way that you can clear this gap without driving around it.
Next up is Toad's Factory, the first of 10 world records from a player named Logan, which is currently tied for the most. His time on Toad's Factory is 1 minute 44.671 seconds. On this track, the world record uses a technique called the box clip on laps 1 and 2, where you use a moving box to catapult yourself into the air and skip ahead in the track. On all 3 laps, players will do the lake cut, which is basically doing a trick on this bump in the road and then using that momentum to fly across the lake.
Luke holds the record for the no glitch category on Toad's Factory with a time of 1 minute 49.245 seconds. For no glitch, the box clip is banned, but the lake cut is allowed. Luke is also the other player with 10 world records as of writing the script.
Welp, that's one cup down. Let's break the ice a little bit. Leave a comment if you watch YouTube videos on double speed. I started doing it a couple of months ago, and it's honestly really nice being able to inhale videos at that speed. My attention span is complete garbage now, but that's alright.
No, it's not.
Dash, I say this with nothing but love and respect, and maybe a hint of amnesia, but I don't remember asking. Let's move on to the Flower Cup.
Yeah, alright, here we go. Mario Circuit features another glitch that allows Logan to get a time of 47.715 seconds. There are multiple different ways to perform this clip, two of which are shown off in this run. On lap 1, he clips off this hill to land inside the tunnel, and then on laps 2 and 3, he uses the second closest tree to the starting line to get on top of the tunnel.
Guy holds the no glitch record at 1 minute 20.839 seconds. He uses all 3 mushrooms to cut off as much grass as possible at the end of lap 1. Then he does the shortcut without a mushroom on all 3 laps by releasing a mini turbo, then hopping to reach the ramp without touching the off-road. I'm just gonna throw it out there that Google Docs thinks that hopping is supposed to be hoping. No. Coconut Mall has one of the coolest glitches in the game in my opinion. There are a ton of ways to do it, but in this run, the world record holder breaks and does a trick off this escalator to clip out of bounds and make a beeline towards the parking lot. This ultra shortcut uses the parking lot as a miniature version of the track, allowing Breakson to get a time of 31.481 seconds by just driving around and unfortunately not finding a parking spot.
Well, I guess Daisy's cooking video about coconut recipes is gonna have to wait. Breakson also has the no glitch record at 1 minute 55.573 seconds. You'll notice that he's using the Flame Runner for this category as opposed to the Mach Bike for the glitch category. This is also thanks to the Mach Bike being lighter than the Flame Runner. The Mach Bike is used for this particular glitch instead of the Quacker because it doesn't sacrifice very much speed. It's still a fast vehicle, which is important for this glitch, and more important than the Mushroom Gorge one.
One technique you'll be seeing throughout these records is the low trick. Doing a trick gives you a speed boost once you land, but you move much slower in the air, so the less time you spend in the air the better. I'll also link a video about low tricks in the description. For this track, there are plenty of small ramps you can get low tricks off of by hopping right when you touch them, then pressing the trick button.
Next up, we got DK Summit, where the world record belongs to Blake with a time of 1 minute 45.268 seconds. The main shortcut here is known as the DK Summit Double. Essentially, that just means going straight over these 2 chasms in the middle of the track instead of driving on the track around them. There's also the single, which we might cover later.
Wario's Gold Mine has another ultra shortcut, and the glitch world record belongs to Logan with a time of 31.882 seconds. This one is called the Pipe Bounce. By driving off the track and then aiming for this pipe, it's possible to jump back onto the track, hit the checkpoint in the cave, then drive forwards again to complete the lap. Vincent has the no glitch record at 1 minute 50.579 seconds. The no glitch time features this little shortcut simply called the turn skip.
Next up, the Star Cup. The world record for Daisy Circuit belongs to Luke at 1 minute 28.425 seconds. On this track, there's a technique called the Stair Dive, where you use a mushroom to carry you all the way up these stairs and then do a low trick on the ramp.
Koopa Cape features another ultra shortcut, and the world record belongs to Justin at 2 minutes 14.552 seconds. Essentially, you're clipping into the blocks on the left side of the track, then flying out of bounds. Since you need all 3 mushrooms and falling off would cause you to lose them anyway, this glitch can only be performed once per run, so laps 2 and 3 are driven normally.
The no glitch record also belongs to Luke at 2 minutes and 17.955 seconds. At the end of the track, you exit a pipe, and the fastest way to do that is by hugging the right wall and then using a mushroom to boost across the waterfall.
Maple Treeway features another shortcut, and the world record belongs to Logan at 1 minute 41.448 seconds. First, you drive backwards and clip out of bounds. Then by using a mushroom to get back onto the track, the checkpoint system gets confused, and when you go through the can, you can turn around and land on a much later part of the track, and the lap will count. Since it only takes 1 mushroom, the glitch can be done on all 3 laps.
The no glitch record belongs to Demon with a time of 2 minutes 14.507 seconds. There's another turn skip here where you can launch yourself off this tree trunk.
Next up is Grumble Volcano, the track with the fastest world record in the entire game. Niaki has a time of 15.962 seconds on this track thanks to one of the most ridiculous ultra shortcuts. After getting up on top of this rock, you can just drive around it 3 times to finish the race. Once again, the Quacker is used because of its light weight.
As for no glitch, the record belongs to Barney at 1 minute 51.542 seconds. The turns inside the cave are pretty difficult, and there are a few other shortcuts that aren't allowed in the no glitch category for the time trial. We might talk about those shortcuts in a future video, since they're commonly used in normal races. We'll see.
On to the Special Cup. Justin has a time of 1 minute 46.972 seconds on Dry Ruins. At the start of the track, he does a small but difficult shortcut called the Sand Hop to cut off a turn.
The next shortcut is the wall glitch, where you stick to this wall, which lets you get through the half-pipe section faster. You'll know you did it right if the wall disappears for a split second.
At the end of lap 2 into lap 3, Justin does what's known as the Dry Ruins Ultra shortcut, even though it doesn't mess with the checkpoint system. It's just a long shortcut that uses all 3 mushrooms to cut off a big chunk of the start of lap 3. Yeah, there's a lot of shortcuts in this track.
So Moonview Highway is a good time to talk about a technique called chain wheelies. Essentially, wheelies don't last forever, so in order to maximize the time you spend wheeling, you need to time your input so that another one starts as soon as the last one ends. This is important on any tracks that have long straightaways where you can squeeze in multiple wheelies. There are also more low tricks on this incline near the start of the track, and the record of this track belongs to Luke with a time of 1 minute 43.035 seconds.
Bowser's Castle features another major glitch. The record belongs to Jared, aka JT2K. With some very precise alignment on the half pipe in the middle of the track, you can get enough air to skip a sizable chunk of the lap. Once again, this glitch requires a lot of air, which is part of the reason the Mach Bike is used over the Flame Runner. There are also more low tricks on the geysers at the end of each lap. The longest standing world record in the entire game is Bowser's Castle No Glitch, and it belongs to Zeke with a time of 2 minutes 20.672 seconds. One thing worth noting is that the right path is faster when you're allowed to do the glitch, but the left path is faster in No Glitch.
Before we get to Rainbow Road's current glitch world record, let's talk about the no glitch category, because it's the only current world record that uses a cart, namely the Flame Flyer. The no glitch record is 2 minutes 24.767 seconds by Flare, and it starts with a trick called the Moon Jump. At the start of the track, there's a sharp downward slope, and because of the game's weird mechanics, it's actually faster to jump over the slope. This can be accomplished by using a mushroom and hopping at the right time. It's fastest to do this with a cart because you can get all the way to the boost panels after going off the ramp. Carts are slower on every other track because you can't do wheelies with them, and none of them have inside drift, making most turns less efficient. There's also a small shortcut here where you can skip one turn before the cannon.
Recently, an ultra shortcut was pulled off for the first time on this track though, and the current world record in the glitch category belongs to Logan, with a time of 2 minutes 12.143 seconds. By using the Quacker, it's possible to perform an unbelievably precise shortcut where you get to the other side of the railing, use mushrooms to boost over to the other side, then drive back around to count the lap. It took years for anybody to pull this glitch off, but the first person to do it was a player named Arthur, so shoutouts to him.
Alright, on to the retro tracks, first starting with the Shell Cup. The first track in the cup is Peach Beach, from, yes, you guessed it, Mario Kart Double Dash. This track has a glitch, and the world record is 1 minute 49 milliseconds by Arrow. Lap 1 is driven normally, and then he clips off this tree to skip ahead in laps 2 and 3. As for no glitch, the record is 1 minute 12.77 seconds by Cole. This one is pretty basic, so let's move on to an even more basic track.
Welcome to Yoshi Falls. David holds the world record here at 58.648 seconds. It's not that interesting of a track, but it's pretty difficult to take the optimal route across the waterfall so close to the edge. Next, Ghost Valley 2, another track with a glitch. Logan has the record at 50.738 seconds, and the glitch here is performing this clip off the pole at the starting line to the other side of the track, then turning around and doing a clip in the opposite direction to land behind the finish line. He goes backwards for a second to make sure the lap counts, then drives the next 2 laps normally. The no glitch record is held by Sosis at 52.775 seconds. This record is basically the same as the last 2 laps of the glitch run, except since Sosis has mushrooms left over, he can cut off more of the track with this ramp shortcut.
Sosis also holds the record on the next track, Mario Raceway, with a time of 1 minute 41.335 seconds. He uses his mushrooms on this patch of grass to weave in between the piranha plants, and does low tricks on both sides of this pipe at the end of each lap.
On to the Banana Cup.
Well, there are 3 Donkey Kong tracks in this game, and ironically, none of them are in this cup.
They probably thought that would be a little bit too on the nose. Sherbet Land is the only track in the game where the Magic Cruiser holds the world record. This is because the entire track is actually off-road that slows you down slightly, and the Magic Cruiser has the best off-road stat in the game, meaning it loses the least speed when it's driving on anything other than normal road. Arthur has the world record on this track at 1 minute 16.907 seconds. He uses Toadette here because she's the only lightweight character that gives you a boost in the off-road stat.
There's another glitch in this track, and once again it involves getting air by clipping off the start line and landing further back in the track, and then driving forward to get a lap in under 15 seconds. The next lap is driven normally, and a different version of that glitch is performed again on lap 3. Instead of using 2 mushrooms, This version only requires 1, but you have to fall off the track in order to get the right respawn point. It doesn't really make a difference whether you do the second clip on lap 2 or 3, that just comes down to personal preference.
My preference is none of the above because I don't own the game anymore.
For no glitch, the mushroom spot is here to hop over this little bit of water. Sosis holds the world record at 2 minutes and 3.5 seconds. There are plenty of chain wheelies on this track as well, about a half dozen per lap, which makes it pretty difficult to do optimally. You have about a 3-frame window to do a chain wheelie with the Wii Remote and Nunchuck since it uses motion controls, but it's frame perfect on other controllers, so it shouldn't come as a surprise that Sosis' controller of choice is the Nunchuck.
Speaking of Sosis, he also holds the Shy Guy Beach record at 1 hour 21.496 minutes. For the record, I did not misspeak, that was just a dumb joke.
You know what would be great, Matt? If you opened a comedy club in Antarctica so no one would ever have to hear your jokes again.
Works for me. I'll have you know the penguins love me. Anyway, this is a pretty straightforward track, just drive in a circle and use a mushroom to boost across the water here.
Next up, Delfino Square, another world record track for Luke at 2 minutes and 4.208 seconds. There's a shortcut here through the mud that requires 1 mushroom, but there's a 2 mushroom shortcut that the record doesn't use, which we might go over in the future as well.
Waluigi Stadium features yet another shortcut, and this time the record belongs to Hunter at 1 minute 41.555 seconds. For this shortcut, you drive forwards, do a trick off this bump in the road, then bounce off the start line followed by the railing, then back over to drive backwards to the last key checkpoint to count the lap. On laps 2 and 3 you drive normally, doing a trick as far left on this ramp as you can to get as little air as possible. Connor has the no glitch record at 1 minute 48.433 seconds. The mushroom spot here is through this mud after the ramp. Whether you're doing the glitch or not, this is a very technically difficult track to time trial.
Welcome to the Leaf Cup. Starting off with Desert Hills, Logan holds the world record with a time of 1 minute 31.016 seconds. The glitch here is another clip where you use this block to boost yourself into the air and fly over the dark sand to avoid falling out of bounds. Sosis has the no glitch record at 1 minute 34.397 seconds. This time, the mushroom spot is these mounds of sand at the end of the track.
Next up, Bowser's Castle 3 from Mario Kart Super Circuit. The world record belongs to Breakson at 1 minute 57.474 seconds. There's a shortcut on this track where you clip off this block to catapult yourself to the other side of the track. He goes for the shortcut with a mushroom once on lap 1, then again on lap 3, and does it without a mushroom on lap 2. Between the shortcut and the chain wheelies, this is one of the more difficult tracks to optimize. The shortcut is banned in the no glitch category, which Luke holds the record for at 2 minutes 16.514 seconds. Another important thing about this track is getting all of the low tricks on the ramps in the middle of each lap.
Next up is DK's Jungle Parkway, another track with an ultra shortcut that makes a complete fool out of the game developers. This record belongs to Invincible at 41.072 seconds. For the shortcut, he clips off this tree, bounces off the starting line, and lands inside the cave, because physics. And then he drives forward to finish the lap absurdly quickly. This shortcut only requires 1 mushroom, meaning you can do it on all 3 laps, but I think by that point, you need to put quotation marks around the word laps.
Luke has the no glitch record at 2 minutes 11.265 seconds. After the cannon, there's a small corner cut you can do by jumping over this little patch of grass. Luke goes for it on laps 1 and 3, saving a good chunk of time. Doing the end of the cave correctly is also very difficult because of the way the terrain is sloped.
Luke also has the record on Mario Circuit Retro Track from Double Dash with a time of 1 minute 30.513 seconds. This is a pretty frustrating track for the time trial players for a couple of reasons. For one, you can't get too much airtime either before or after using your mushroom on the grass shortcut each lap. The piranha plants can also get in the way on the final lap. It's a track that many players enjoy racing on, but time trialing, well, that's another story.
Finally, we're on to the Lightning Cup. Another Mario Circuit, this time Mario Circuit 3 from Super Mario Kart. This one is another world record for Luke. This one sits at 1 minute 17.889 seconds. Mario Circuit 3 is one of the most optimized tracks in the game. The record is less than a tenth of a second slower than the combined best known times for each lap. It's a fairly straightforward track, completely flat with a boost panel at the end, but this record has been standing since 2019 and it's going to be difficult for anyone to break anytime soon.
Peach Gardens is a unique one. Every other track in the game uses manual drifting, where you drift using a button. By turning manual drift on, you get mini turbos by drifting for long enough, which makes it optimal for just about every single track. Automatic drifting doesn't let you get mini turbos, but it's good specifically for the hedge maze on this track. You have to adjust your alignment ever so slightly in that section, and the different drift mechanics with automatic make it the optimal choice. Basically, everyone who plays the game seriously uses manual drift, so very few people have learned to use automatic specifically to time trial this track. Currently, the world record belongs to King Alex at 1 minute 58.986 seconds. Welcome to DK Mountain, where Logan holds both world records. Let's start with the glitch record. By using a mushroom and aiming between this fence and the zipper panel, you can clip through and chain that into another shortcut over this chasm. He does the glitch all 3 laps and gets a time of 1 minute 58.772 seconds. As for no glitch, the record is 2 minutes 5.194 seconds. There isn't much off-road in this track, so he just uses his mushroom on the bridge at the end of the lap.
Well, we've made it to the last track of the video. How's everybody doing? I'm assuming you're enjoying it if you've made it this far, or maybe you skipped ahead looking for a specific record. I don't know. Anyway, on to N64 Bowser's Castle, another record for Logan at 2 minutes 20.584 seconds. He's the first person to pull off a newly discovered glitch on this track. First, he hops up onto this railing, slowly does a wheelie off of it, then uses a mushroom to clip off the starting line pole and into the lava behind the line. Then he respawns and drives backwards to respawn even further back to make sure the lap counts. Since the glitch requires you to fall off the track, you can only do it once per run. Off topic, but I think it would take a lot longer than 5 seconds for Lakitu to fish you out of the lava, but video games are like math problems. If something doesn't make sense, you're not legally allowed to ask questions about it. This glitch saves over 20 seconds on what is otherwise the longest track in the game. Luke holds the no glitch record at 2 minutes 30.677 seconds. Since he has mushrooms, he uses them when he exits the castle on each lap and goes through this patch of grass. He also does the rail shortcut where he lands on this railing so he doesn't have to do his wide turn to finish the lap.
Well, there it is. Every time trial world record on Mario Kart Wii and the shortcuts and techniques that they use. Once again, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe. We'd all really appreciate it. And like we mentioned a couple times, there are a handful of shortcuts that are used in regular races but not in time trials. So leave a comment if you'd like to see us cover those in the future. Alright, good night fellas and sleep well.